to the Rival Fantasy Week 16 live stream. I am Neil. He is Brian. What up, Brian?
What's up, Neil? How you doing, man?
Not much, man. Not much. I know it's a lot going on right now for people. So listen, it's the holidays. It's Christmas. It's almost New Year's. People are with their family. People have lots of responsibilities and things to get to. And so football, where do you think it ranks on the list? I'm not sure, man.
It should be high on your list if you are in the semifinals. If this is not your priority, I think you're in the wrong place, my friends.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. It's happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But you're right, Neil. Yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of things. That's why you've been solo dolo the last couple of weeks. Good to be back. Good to be back in the saddle and helping the people hopefully get to a championship next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with the holidays, I'm appreciative for everyone who's, you know, joining us today, whether you join us just to ask a question and dip, whether you're going to be here for the whole show, which we hope, which we appreciate. You know, shout out to everybody. Happy holidays to everybody, whatever it is you celebrate. You know, hope everyone's doing good. If you're traveling, be safe, whatever you're doing. Have a good time. Are you traveling or anything? No, right?
No, I did all my traveling for Thanksgiving, so I am staying put this time, which is nice.
I was gonna say that would be pretty slick of you to bring that Rival Fantasy flag wherever you travel.
Yeah, I should have the pocket version of the flag coming soon, coming in 2024. Pocket Rival Fantasy flags for the people.
Stepping things up around here. So I mean, normally we start like recapping stuff, but there's already people in the chat. So let's start talking to some of our fellow, you know, community members here. We got Bulls fan. Good morning. Happy holidays. Shout out to you, Bulls fans. Hey, listen, you told me you weren't going to show up today on one of the comments on YouTube. You lied to me, Bulls fan. You lied to me. But I appreciate it.
It's a Christmas miracle, Neil. It's a Christmas miracle. Showed up.
It's a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Jen, also, what's up, guys? Happy Christmas.
Welcome back,
Merry
Jen.
Christmas to you, Jen. Nice to see you as well. Shout out to everybody. Listen, Jen, Bulls fan, they've been holding us down all year. So yeah. It's good to see you guys.
Loyal.
And then let's see, we got some questions already in here. Oh, Jen also said in the semis here with both leagues, hoping for good wins. Listen,
let's get it.
Balling, man. We've talked about your team a lot. You know, you got a really good squad, so I expect you to get those championships under your belt, man. All right, cool. So hold on. We got questions. I guess we'll answer these questions just in case. I want these people to.
Yeah, I don't want them to go fall by the wayside.
I don't want them to have to go and then, you know, us not answer their question in time. So let's do those first, and then we'll get into the other stuff that we have planned. All right. Bulls fan has Tyler Lockett or D-Hop. I know he mentioned Will Levis situation. So he was also asking it because of that, I believe, which would have affected his potential, you know, decision. So Tyler Lockett or D-Hop, Brian, do you have an immediate thought here or?
Yeah, I'd probably go Lockett just because I know Gino's back. Or he should be back. I think that will be determined later today, you know, in the next few minutes. But if Gino's healthy and it's, you know, Gino versus Tannehill, I'm going to pick Lockett in that scenario, I think. I just like the offense more, I think, for Seattle. So,
yeah, it's a tough one. They are playing each other.
Yeah.
They both didn't play well last week, you know, Hopkins or Lockett. Neither one really, you know, produced very high. What is the situation right now with Levis? Is he good to
go? So Levis is going to sit per everything I've read. So it's most likely going to be Ryan Tannehill, which, you know, to me is a downgrade for Hopkins and it's an upgrade for Tajay Spears and for Derrick Henry. So that's kind of what my determining factor is. But if you need upside, D-Hop is more likely to rip off that big touchdown run. So if you're down, if you're in a hole from the last, you know, the first 3 games of the week, D-Hop might be the better upside play if you need the big boom.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because, you know, D-Hop is the more like in line for, you know, guaranteed work, right? Yeah. Like regardless of who the quarterback is, you say, well, you know, they're going to target D. Hopkins. At the end of the day, how good are Tannehill's targets though? Like we haven't seen him play, you know, in a while, so we don't exactly know what we're going to get. And then with Lockett, the opportunities are probably less potentially, but we know who's throwing the ball to him. I would say Lockett too. I mean, Lockett has still been consistently getting targets, right? So like he's still getting, you know, the last few weeks 8, 6, 9. So like the targets are there. Tennessee is a good matchup. So yeah, I'm with you. I think, you know, Lockett is probably the better bet. Hopkins isn't terrible, but I just think that we don't know how Tannehill's going to perform. He got benched for a reason. Like I just don't want to, you know, too many what ifs there.
And I mean, he's Ryan Tannehill. He's always like, he's always good for 3 solid performances a year, and he was banged up. So in his defense, like there's a reason they paid Tannehill, but there's also a reason they drafted Will Levis, right? So
yeah,
you have to go in knowing that. But I just like, especially if this is PPR Bulls fan, like that will be the decision maker. I think where I go Lockett for sure is a PPR scenario. So
yeah, because if it is PPR, you can get the debate, even more going, and Hopkins a little favor. But yeah, either way, I think they're kind of close. I think they're kind of similar. It's whatever guy you think is going to rip off a big play potentially. You know what I'm saying? So Bulls fan did say it's PPR.
Yeah. So for me, that would be Lockett. Again, I think they're both like wide receiver 3 flex range. None of these guys are inspiring a lot of confidence for me. I moved off of Lockett in a couple of leagues where I could, but when this is the decision for me, I think I'll probably go Lockett.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. They both had 9 targets last week. Hopkins only caught 2 of them. Lockett only caught 3 of them. So not looking the greatest connection going on with their quarterbacks or whatever the case is. But
Lockett did have Drew Lock last week. So
that's true.
We are back on the Geno train. I still prefer Geno to Drew Lock, even though he had that sweet dime to JSN. So yeah, I think you can, if you live and die by the sword, right? Like I'd be a much happier person losing with Tyler Lockett in my lineup than winning or like losing with him on my bench. Like at least I took that shot. So
yeah. But all right, cool, no problem. And Bulls fan said thanks for the advice. Of course, no problem. Bulls fan, we appreciate the support, and if you stick around, awesome. If you don't, happy holidays to you. Hope you have a good day. Next one on here, Jay, Aaron Jones or Waddle, Cleveland or Eagles defense, Monty or Ty Chandler. All right, so we got 3 questions here.
3 good questions here. Okay.
Yeah. So the first one, I guess we'll just go in order here. So the first one he has Aaron Jones or Waddle. Jay, I don't know if it's PPR or not. I guess we can just want to assume. I guess we can assume it's PPR.
Yeah, I think we just operate kind of in a half PPR world, unless otherwise noted. So for context, the Packers are playing the Panthers, and the Dolphins are playing the Cowboys. So, and Tyreek is banged up, which does help Waddle. We saw what Waddle can do when Tyreek is not in the lineup last week. That was pretty nice. Waddle had a huge game, but Aaron Jones looks healthy, and he is the bell cow, and their entire wide receiver core is decimated. I think it's Romeo Doubs, and that's it right now for the Packers, right? So Aaron Jones is probably going to get a lot of targets out of the backfield. But that's what I would say. I think, I don't know. I think I'd probably go Waddle for boom bust.
Yeah. I mean, you basically can look at it also like Aaron Jones has the cake matchup with the Panthers. And Waddle has a tougher matchup with Dallas. The positive for Waddle is they played the Jets last week, who are also considered one of the best defenses in the league, and he went crazy. So I don't think that you look at the matchup necessarily for Waddle and back off of it, because tough defenses haven't really slowed him down all year. You know what I mean? He's played tough defenses a couple times already this year, and he's done great in all of them, honestly. So it really comes down to, do you want the guaranteed work that Aaron Jones is going to get against an easy defense, or do you want the big play upside potential of Waddle? Is Hill definitely out or no?
No, it sounds like Hill's pushing to play. I haven't seen anything official yet. So let me try to pull.
But you said you would go Waddle or you would go Jones?
I think I would go Waddle just because he's the dude. I mean, he's still awesome when he's on the field. And yes, he leaves every game probably 6 or 7 times, roughly. I mean, you think he's got an injury on every single drive. But I like them both this week, but I think Waddle is the better play.
Yeah.
In a game that I assume is going to be much higher scoring than
So we're both on Waddle on that one then.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps, Jay. And then you said Cleveland or Eagles defense. Cleveland is playing Houston, your boys. And the Eagles are playing New York Giants. I would have to go with the Eagles on this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think. I mean, look, it was a small sample size, but Case Keenum can still get it done. I mean, the Texans are not slouching just because CJ Stroud is out, so they're finding ways to be competitive. Cleveland's defense is great. We've said it all year. They're probably the most underrated defense in the NFL, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles. The Tommy DeVito, he's going to turn back into a pumpkin eventually. Like the clock's going to strike midnight. Let's let the Eagles eat in division game The Eagles are trying to bounce back. They've had a few very tough losses, so I think they are going to just trounce the Giants tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if the Browns were playing, I mean, if the Eagles were playing somebody else, it wasn't such an easy game for me like the Giants. I would possibly lean Cleveland because Cleveland has been pretty consistent all season, has had more double-digit weeks and everything than the Eagles have. But the Eagles, I just like their matchup. I just think they could really cause chaos for DeVito. And I think that if he does start going down that path where it's not good, things can get ugly quick for him. Yeah. You could potentially see him throwing a couple interceptions. Eagles are, can turn that into points. So I just think that they're just a safer bet against that matchup than the Browns are. But the Browns have been consistent. I mean, you can't go wrong, I don't think, necessarily this week with them, with either defense. But I just said if I have to favor one, I favor the Eagles.
Yeah. And the other deciding factor for me here is the Eagles are at home, Cleveland's on the road. So that helps. The Cleveland has to play in a dome in Houston versus the Eagles, they get to play their turf. And Tommy DeVito has to go on the road to arguably the most hostile place to play in the NFL in Philly. So
exactly. So Eagles for us both. And then Monty or Ty Chandler. Okay, that's a good one.
So Madison is playing. Madison is active. Not that really matters because he's kind of trash. I'm still going to go Montgomery though, barely. But it's touchdown upside versus like big play. Very close for me too. I think they're both kind of in that back end RB2 range for me this week. But I'm probably going to go Monty. Who are they? I keep forgetting what all the
Monty's they're playing each other. So
they're in the same. That's right. So they're playing in Minnesota, so in a dome. So you don't really have weather conditions to worry about. So yeah, I'll go Monty just because it's kind of a toss up with Madison back. I don't know how they're going to work him back in, and we know.
And Jay, this is where me and Brian split. I'm going with Ty Chandler. I'm excited.
Yep.
Listen, at least on this show, I've been saying that I hate Madison. He's not my guy. He's very Clyde Edwards-Helaire type of running back. They don't get me excited. I'm not, they're not the guys. They're not my cup of tea. And so I love when a guy like Ty Chandler gets an opportunity. I don't want to see Madison injured, obviously. But in a situation like this where they're both back, I just think that, the head coach said that Ty Chandler is going to get a featured role, whatever that means, head coach talk. But at the end of the day, I believe that they're finally realizing like, hey, this guy has a gear that Madison doesn't. This guy, has abilities that Madison doesn't. And so I don't think they can ignore it anymore. I mean, he's been kind of, showing these flashes, but then last week, I mean, come on, it was just, ridiculous. So I think that Ty Chandler, whether Madison's back or not, whether they want to, however they want to, look at it, we're going to slowly bring him back, however they want to phase it in. But I just think that Chandler's going to get more work than we think. And so I like the Ty Chandler upside. I'm going to take that risk over, David Montgomery, who, might get me 10 points,
Montgomery's going to fall into the end zone at this point. So, and for the record, I am starting Ty Chandler in a lot of places. I just, it's about like touchdown upside in this week. Cause I'm assuming a lot of us are playing in a hole right now. If you started Pat Fryermuth like me, you need to go find some upside and some pop in your in your lineups. So, but no, I think Neil, you convinced me. I think I'm going to change to Ty Chandler.
Hey.
Barely. I like Ty Chandler.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
I'm actually, hey, listen, guys, I'm looking to add some more sounds to the soundboard as well, too. So we're going to get some.
Let us know. Let us know what you want to hear.
Sounds at some point here. All right. So we answered all of Jay's questions. Hopefully that helped. Let me see what we got going here.
Jin coming in with the kicker question early.
Let me see.
I love it.
All right. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the next question we got here. All right. So we got Jen already said that. Okay. Let me hit you an early kicker question. Should I roll with Jake Elliott or drop him and get Justin Tucker against the Niners? Jen, I love that you're giving us kicker questions here on this beautiful holiday.
Dude. Also, let's keep kickers in fantasy. Anyone who's trying to push for the abolition of kickers needs to rethink their priorities. I like both kickers this week. They both have good matchups. I'm also, Jen, thinking about it for next week, right? So the Eagles play the Cardinals, which means they're probably going to boat race them in week 17 in your championship, versus the Ravens have the Dolphins. So that's more likely to involve a few more field goals if I was guessing. So I think anytime you can get Justin Tucker in your lineup, because he's, future Hall of Famer, best kicker in the NFL, best leg that we've probably ever seen since like Adam Vinatieri. I'd probably go Justin Tucker if you can. That's where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah, I mean Justin Tucker. I mean he's been having solid weeks too. It's not like he's
he's no slouch,
well.
man. He's no slouch.
Yeah, and Jake Elliott's been a little up and down. I'm assuming he's thinking this because of the matchup or something against the Giants. But I think the matchup against the Giants actually makes it less wanting to start Jake Elliott. I kind of look at it like if I think that the offense can score easily, then the kicker means less to me because I don't really care about those extra points as much. When I think that the team may struggle a little bit offensively to get into the end zone a lot, then I go, well, maybe that kicker's going to have to kick a lot. You know what I mean? So for me, Justin Tucker, the matchup, even though it's the 49ers, sounds like it's not a great matchup, I actually like it because I go, maybe it'll, challenge the Ravens a little bit and make them have to kick some field goals. So I will start with Tucker as well with that one. All right, David Makatari, hope I'm saying your name right, David. Henry, Bijan, or JT? Hit us with a running back question with
JT, man. JT's gonna feast today. I know Trey Sermon looked good last week. Like I like Trey Sermon, hope the best for him, but Zach Moss is out. Michael Pittman is out. He had a concussion relapse last night. So they are without their wide receiver one. They're without their backup running back. So Gardner Minshew's just gonna feed JT the rock all day. So, and that's a divisional matchup, which means JT is probably going to run all over the Jags. If I was going to guess, they have the Falcons today. Just kidding. But I was looking at the wrong matchup. But no, give me Falcons defense is like middle of the road. So give me JT in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take JT too. Also, I mean, Henry is who he is. It's been kind of sort of a roller coaster with him in terms of really good weeks and what's happened in bad weeks and good weeks. And then with Bijan, I love the matchup. He's playing, JT again.
But we hate Arthur Smith.
But the thing is, I mean, what is happening with the Falcons? I cannot trust their usage of this guy.
Arthur Smith is happening to the Falcons.
Yeah.
And Arthur Smith thinks he's got galaxy brain when he ends up having smooth brain and he thinks he's smarter than he is. And it's
this dude had 7 carries last week. It's like, come on, man. It's just crazy. So, while I would love to say, Bijan, I can't. I just can't do it. I cannot do that to you, David. So
not in the semis. If this is week 10, fine, but not.
And he can go off. He could go off, but I'm just not.
But I'm so much happier with him going off on my bench than him crapping the bed in my lineup.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. So hopefully that helps, David. Also to Jackie, I don't know if you guys, my volume's any better. I pushed it up a little bit. You guys let me know. Sorry, it's a little low. But hopefully if you can respond in the comments, guys, is my volume good? You guys let me know. You guys are the judge. I want to know if it's fine for you guys, but thank you for letting me know. That means a lot. Let's see. Next one is Triple Hunts. Put Waddle or Wilson in for my wide receiver 2. I'm flexing Chuba over them.
Give me Waddle. It's the Waddle for me.
Okay. So he's going to flex Chuba over one or the other. Basically,
it sounds like instead of having both wide receivers start, he's going to flex Chuba. So,
gotcha. Do you like that decision? Also, do you like the
honestly? So here's the rub with Garrett Wilson, right? If Zach Wilson was starting, which I can't believe this is going to come out of my mouth, I would start Garrett Wilson too. Zach Wilson is in concussion protocol. They are starting Trevor Siemian, so they are not even starting the worst of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. They're starting somebody. I like Trevor Siemian. He's a cool dude, but he's not a good NFL quarterback. So Garrett Wilson, I just don't think there's going to be enough passing volume in that game. The Commanders defense sucks. It's a great matchup for Garrett Wilson. And that's the tasty part of it. But, and I also don't know if I want to play Chuba. I love Chuba. You guys know, you've heard me tout the Chuba tuba all season, but I just don't have any confidence in the Panthers right now. So I might still flex Wilson and just
that's what I was asking. Would you start Wilson and Waddle?
I think I would probably start Wilson and Waddle and just kind of close my eyes and hope. It's gross. We've had a good track record from Chuba to this point, but I don't know if I want to rely on him to get me to a fantasy championship at this point.
Yeah.
You got Garrett Wilson for a reason. So I think I would flex Garrett Wilson over Chuba.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that I would start Waddle and Chuba if that's what you want to do. But I might start Waddle and Wilson, man. I don't know. That Commanders matchup. But then again, he has done that to me this year where I'm like, the great matchup. And
then he goes 2 for 21.
Yeah. So I guess in the playoffs, Waddle and Chuba is safer.
Yeah. And Chuba's, the Packers defense is fine, but they're also so down in their offense. They're out so many guys that they may be in a better position for Chuba to if they get ahead by, use your imagination and,
right.
if the Panthers do somehow get ahead of the Packers, then Chuba's probably going to get a lot of run today. So, and Chuba's a better pass catcher. So I don't hate that, but you're definitely starting Waddle, and I think you can flip a coin between Wilson and Chuba. And
yeah, no, I
don't hold your breath for either of them to pop, but
yeah, I agree. Yeah, when we're in the fantasy playoffs, like it's important to talk about this fact that we're going to keep getting these questions, but whether how you want to balance the risk and the reward type players. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to go safe? Do you have to go high risk because of the outcomes from the other games that we played already this week? There's a lot of that going on right now, and so when it comes to these kind of situations, when maybe you would gamble on a Wilson earlier in the season in a matchup like this, maybe you won't if you have a safer option.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things you got to do. Are you're going to go all big and just risk it all, or you want the safer points? So I think that's something we're going to see a lot of in these questions today. You know what I mean?
I think so.
All right. Triple Hunts, let me see. He also said Waddle, Wilson is PPR, and Swift or Ty Chandler in for flex, not PPR. Okay, so there are different leagues when we were answering those questions earlier.
So, right. Ty Chandler against Swift. If you're on Swift, I don't think he asked that earlier. I think that's a different question.
Waddle, Wilson is PPR.
Because he mentioned the Waddle Wilson, but that Swift versus Ty Chandler is a new question.
Okay.
Non-PPR, I'd probably go Ty Chandler.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Fly, half PPR. I'm torn between Josh Jacobs, have Zamir if he doesn't play, or David Montgomery. I'll let you answer first since I'm a Raiders fan, so I'm going to have my bias.
I'm going to go with your boy, man. If Josh Jacobs is healthy, he's in my lineup. If you guys remember, I think it was last year. I think it was week 16. He was coming off an injury, him being Josh Jacobs. A lot of people benched him. And he went off for like almost 200 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Like he had one of the best fantasy days of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's anecdotal evidence. There's not a lot of numbers there, but just if Josh Jacobs is healthy and if Antonio Pierce is coming out and saying like, yeah, he's going to play, I'm gonna assume that they're gonna feed Josh Jacobs, especially against Kansas City, whose run defense is meh at best. And the Chiefs they don't look good right now. So give me Jacobs.
Yeah.
Let's fire him up if he's healthy.
I wanted the non-biased Raider, person to go first. So now I will go with my bias. But in terms of like Josh Jacobs, this situation. Okay. So for me, we've talked about David Montgomery earlier in a question, and I felt like, we're saying he's a 10 to 12 point guy, safely probably, that's where he kind of ends up a lot, like just because of the rest of the playmakers in that offense. With Josh Jacobs, I feel like you have way more upside there. I think that he could also, obviously get 10 to 12 points, even on an injured day, probably. But I think that the upside to him is way higher. He played KC earlier a couple of weeks ago when he was healthy, of course. He had over 20 fantasy points in PPR for that one. I just think that he wouldn't play unless he was capable of playing, unless he was ready to play. And generally, overall, like he's a tough dude. He's played through plenty of injuries. It's never been like a thing for him where it's like, oh, Josh Jacobs was injured for weeks and weeks. Like he always kind of plays through these things for the most part. So I think taking last week off, they balled out. And also, I'm a Raiders fan, so I'm watching the games and stuff. He was like on the sidelines. He was jumping all over the place with the players. So it's not like he was like so bad that he couldn't even be at the game or that he was like, just sitting down in a chair somewhere. So I think overall he's fine. He'll be healthy. It's also Monday, right, for him. So it gives him another day. I would roll Josh Jacobs. And I think that if he doesn't play for some, freakish reason, I think Zamir is going to probably produce like Montgomery anyway.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think you're fine. It's not like you have a terrible option after this if it falls through. So Fly. I'm with Brian here. I'm going Josh Jacobs. Braden, full PPR. Pick one to start in my flex. ETN, DJ Moore, or Zeke. Some interesting names there.
I like that one. That's those are nice problems to have.
I think PPR.
I think I'm gonna go with DJ Moore on that one. I like the matchup. The Cardinals are Cardinals are the Cardinals. And here's the problem, right? Every time we say start DJ Moore, that's when he craps the bed. And then every time we say to bench DJ Moore, that's when he goes off, right? So sit DJ Moore, wink. But yeah, I'm gonna go with DJ on this one.
Yeah. And a reminder, guys, please like this video. It takes 1 second for you to just click the like button. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, it means the world to us that you hit subscribe. Both these things take 2 seconds for you. They're free. It means nothing, I'm sure, to you. But to us, it means a lot. We're going against the YouTube algorithm here. We're trying to grow this community for Rival Fantasy. We're trying to bring you more and more shows with free content. And so to do that, the biggest thing you guys could do for us is just hit the like button. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I know a lot of you are already subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, please just do that for us. This way you also know as soon as we drop new episodes or new content or shorts or when we go live, you want to kind of get those notifications, know we're here. We do this for you guys. We're all about you guys. So just that quick hitting that subscribe button means everything to us. Hey, that's your Christmas gift to us this year. Look at it that way.
Merry Christmas to us. Thank you for
that could be the Christmas gift. And of course, guys, we're brought to you by Rival Fantasy. That's the whole operation here. So of course, go to rivalfantasy.com, download the app. Go to the website if you're not on your phone. Go to the website, rivalfantasy.com. Play games, challenges, bingo, all kinds of fantasy stuff.
Start mock drafting to get ready for best ball in 2024.
Exactly.
Little sneak peek.
There's so much
coming.
There's so much to do, and we take a lot of pride in it. Yeah. We're really proud of what we've built over there, and so we highly suggest you guys check it out. But also,
and not to brag, but we've already added MLB and NBA drafting. So not saying that we're ahead of the game, but we're ahead of the game, folks. Yeah. We got baseball
guys, there. Yeah, we're trying to get you guys the stuff as quick as possible.
Let's do it.
So do it. We appreciate it. Again, subscribe, like this video. It means everything to us. All right. Oh yeah. So you said DJ Moore.
I said DJ.
I'm with you on DJ Moore. I just think that, man, since Justin Fields has come back, it's been incredible. Like these two have a great connection, and it's an interesting thing when I say Justin Fields, man. Like he might not be their quarterback next year.
Yeah, which I hope crazy, that's not the case, man. If they're smart, like invest in look, you have to also remember Justin Fields is very obviously a second half of the year quarterback, right? He has done this 2 years in a row where his first half is meh. And then his second half, he gets hurt middle of the season. Then he comes back from the injury and then he pops off. So if you draft Justin Fields, don't draft him in the 4th round, draft him late if you can, as late as you possibly can. And just, have somebody else ready to go for those first 8 games. But, let's hope. I'm interested to see what they do, but for now, ride the hot hand.
I see lots of rumors that the Raiders should trade for Justin Fields. Just saying.
I've also heard rumors of the Vikings trying to trade for him. Vikings going for him or for Kyler. So we'll see what happens, man. This NFL offseason is going to get a little wild, I think. Yeah. This is going to be one of the crazier ones of recent memory.
And by the way, shout out to Streamyard, which is what we use here for the stream, because if you see when these people's questions, there's an X here. They now brought X comments into the feed.
Oh, very nice.
Which is awesome. So you guys can be watching on X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, and drop your comments live there, and we can actually pull it up on the screen or on YouTube. So shout out to them. All right, so we did this one. Let's go to Kevin Murphy. Shout out to you, Kevin. Shout out to you. Start 3, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. So particular position. Half PPR, Collins, JSN, Swift, Pacheco, Singletary. You got a couple of Brian's favorites in here. Some of my favorites as well.
Yeah, man. This is
for Brian.
Good. This is a good one.
This is a really good one.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to do one. So we have to have 1 wide receiver. So let's do that first. Let's just kind of make this.
I'm going to start Nico, biased Texans fan, but I mean, look, we don't have Tank Dell. Nico has no limitations now. They said he's full go 100%. So give me Nico. JSN, he had an amazing game last week. That last play was awesome, but that was like the big play for him, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a crowded wide receiver room in Seattle. So I'll take Nico over JSN.
I'm actually going JSN.
Are you really? JSN. Okay.
Listen, I love Nico. I love Nico, but the quarterback situation, they're playing the Browns. I hate players when they play against the Browns.
But the Browns secondary is not as scary as the Browns front.
I don't want it, man. And JSN's playing Tennessee.
I know, but I don't think they're going to need to throw that much. That's the problem. Like I think it's going to be possession stuff, and it's not going to be JSN's, wheelhouse. But I don't think you can go wrong. Like these are both good options here. So but
all right. So I'm JSN, you're Collins. So we're split on that. Hope that helps, Kevin. And then at running back, hopefully my argument was better. Running back, we got to pick one here. So we got Swift, Pacheco, Singletary, and then one we could potentially flex also. So we got to keep that in mind. So.
I think I'm going to start Pacheco simply for the fact I don't love playing the Raiders against the Raiders defense right now. The Raiders have a great defense.
Beautiful to hear. That's so beautiful to hear.
No, they've been great since Antonio Pierce has taken over, but the Chiefs have no one Jerick McKinnon is out. Kadarius Toney is out. And then they have another offensive piece that is going to be out today. I forgot who it was. But the Chiefs are down bad on the offensive side. So Pacheco is probably just going to get to eat simply because of the fact he's the only one there. So I'll take McCole Hardman. McCole Hardman's the other one who's out. Not that that really matters for fantasy. But with McKinnon out, I think Pacheco might actually get way more run even out of the back, like as far as passing is concerned.
Right.
So where are you going running back, Neil?
I think I'm gonna go, and this pains me to say this, but I am gonna go Pacheco. Again, I know I'm a Raider fan, but I have to put the bias aside. Like he's a really good running back. He runs hard, and if the
runs angry,
it's just an easy. The Chiefs are not going to not score, right? Like they're going to score, and Pacheco is a likely candidate for that scoring, and so I'm going to go with Pacheco as my running back for sure.
Yeah.
So now we have to pick a flex. Man. Yeah. And this, it really comes down to, for me, because I'm not rolling Collins because I don't like the Browns defense. Swift has not been, very good.
Yeah.
And then Singletary is again playing the Browns defense.
Yeah.
So for me, this is the toughest one, the flex.
Yeah, I think I go Swift. I think I go Swift just because of the Giants matchup. He always has the ability to pop off, and the Eagles need to win, which is crazy to say that at 10-4 they need a win, but they do. So yeah, I'll go Swift just purely because I think the Eagles are pissed and they're gonna come out slugging.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, man. Will Singletary? I hate that Browns defense, right?
I'm starting Singletary in a lot of places, but that's out of necessity more than anything.
Yeah.
So Kevin has the luxury of being able to pivot off of that in a tough matchup, and this could be the week that the Texans give Dameon Pierce like 10 touches, like they did a couple weeks ago, out of the blue, right?
Yeah.
So, I'll go Swift. So I'm going to go Collins, Pacheco, and Swift.
Yeah, that's the only difference for me. That I'm going to go JSN, Pacheco, Swift. So we're just different on the wide receiver. Kevin, do what you will with that, man. He also said thank you and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well, Kevin. We appreciate it. Mikey said, who should I start of these 3 to 4? Jonathan Taylor, Mike Evans, Ayuk, and Waddle. So basically, we're just sitting
3
one.
of them. Yeah, so sitting one. So I'm going to sit Ayuk.
Whoa, I have to look at this for a second here.
Man. I know
that's making you sit Ayuk.
Just the matchups for everyone else. So they're playing the Ravens, last game of the week. Waddle, we already talked about earlier. Mike Evans is unstoppable right now. Mike Evans is
and a good matchup too.
Yeah, and the great matchup against the Jaguars. That secondary is fine, and then Taylor's going to eat today, like we said. Falcons are a fine defense, but they're nothing special. And again, the Colts are in a similar situation to what we just discussed with Pacheco, right? Like Taylor's the only thing they got right now. It's Jonathan Taylor, it's Josh Downs, and that's it. So
no, I'm with you, man. If we got to find a way to separate these for Mikey here, the only differentiator, because these guys are all super talented on really solid offenses. They've been producing all year long, but Ayuk is the guy that just has the tough matchup. Yeah. So that's really the only way you can kind of, divvy these guys up into, and they're all great. I mean, Don't get me wrong. These guys are all top 15, top.
Yeah.
They're all,
Ayuk is still a top
he's still a
20 wide receiver. It's like, this is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But also like Debo has been getting so much work since he's returned, and Ayuk is the one who's suffering. Yeah. So that is something to keep in mind too. Again, you're splitting hairs. Like this is a really good problem to have, but Ayuk's probably the one I'm benching out of these.
Yeah, absolutely. And good luck, Mikey. All right. Quinn here says pick 2: Flowers, Gibson, Nico, and London. Oof. Again, some more of your favorites, Brian.
Yeah, man. Zay Flowers has fallen out of grace, but that's just because the Ravens have seemingly forgotten how to throw the ball. Man, I'm not going to pick Antonio Gibson. No, thank you. Not against the Jets defense.
Drake
Man.
London is playing the Colts, but man, he's been up and down too.
And now we got Taylor Heineke. We don't know what Heineke's going to do for Drake London. So I'm going to go with Nico and Flowers. Even Flowers in the tough matchup. I know it's gross. It's hard to start somebody against the Niners, but I'm going to do it. If I'm going to pick any quarterback against the Niners, I'll take Lamar to do something. So let's go with Flowers and Nico here.
Interesting.
Where are you going? I know you're not big on Nico this week against the Browns.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Flowers in London.
Okay.
It doesn't feel great saying either one of these guys, but I guess I'm just hoping for the pattern to keep its course for London right now. He's been 14 points, 2 points, 29, 4. So
so it's every other week. Yeah.
If it continues, it's the big week. So no, I mean, I'm not excited about these guys, at all, really, this whole group, honestly. But I think that Flowers and London for me have like the big play potential, the easiest path to that. Nico does have big play potential too, but it's just a little more of a shaky situation for me in a tough defense. So I'm going to go Flowers and London, but this is a tough one. So we go from one person asking a question where they have all these elite options and then one person who's like kind of struggling city.
Like on paper, these guys are all very good players. It's just that they haven't produced to inspire confidence at this point in the season. So you're in a pickle, but I think Gibson is definitely a bench. I'm not starting any Commanders if I can help it, except for Terry McLaurin against the Jets. I'm not doing it.
Good luck, Quinn. Colts fan Caden, Ty Chandler or Adam Thielen?
Ty Chandler.
Yeah.
Next question.
Ty Chandler for me too.
R.I.P. Adam Thielen. R.I.P.
Ray Gamer, what's up, Ray? Welcome back.
Yes, Ray.
It's a nice question we got here. Okay. Eagles defense versus Giants at home on Christmas.
Yep.
Colts D versus Falcons on the road. I love that Ray is breaking down like all the information for us, but we don't have to look at it because Ray broke it down.
My man Ray.
Yeah, Browns D versus Texans on the road, and then play one kicker, and he gives us a kicker. So let's start with the defenses. I'm sticking with the Eagles on this one again, probably.
I think it's the
similar
Eagles
questions earlier.
Yeah, I think you go. I think it would be Eagles, Browns, Colts in that order.
Yeah. All right. So the Eagles defense for both of us, and then for the kickers, we got Santos for versus the Cardinals at home. We got Aubrey versus the Dolphins, but windy. Or we got D-Hop versus Texas.
D-Hop. Is D-Hop Dustin Hopkins?
Yeah.
Is that who that? Okay.
The Browns kicker, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that he was on the Browns. I just remember him being a Commander, and that's it. I think I might go... See, I'm inclined to say Santos, just given... Like, I know we talked about how good Fields has been, but the Bears do struggle. Oh, and Deonta Foreman is out, so they may have trouble running the ball today. So I think that kind of pushes me towards Santos. I think that's the trap game. I think that's the game that could go either way, and none of us are expecting it to. So yeah, give me Cairo on that one.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Aubrey.
Aubrey, even with the win?
Should be a high-scoring game against the Dolphins. I know, again, I did say if a defense can slow a team down, that I kind of like their kicker a little more. But I don't think Miami's going to slow down Dallas. Yeah. But I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game, so I'll take the risk. I don't mind the wind a little bit. I mean, last week I said, because I'm in Florida, obviously, or not obviously, some of you don't know that, but I said that, I didn't like Dolphins players because the weather was bad down here, and then Waddle and stuff goes off. Yeah. So I'm like, man, that didn't look great. But I'm going to stick with the player who's playing in Miami this week, Aubrey, and I think Aubrey's gonna be fine, man.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be fine.
I think these are all good options. Good options.
And also Ray Gamer said Eagles D is missing 4 starters. Nico Collins is now playing in Browns game.
Yeah, even with the Eagles D banged up, like again, I think it's time. No offense to Giants fans, the Tommy DeVito thing has been great. It's been fun to watch. The whole Sopranos bit on the sidelines with his agent has been a hoot, but. the clock's going to strike midnight. The Tommy DeVito thing's going to end. The Eagles are going to, I think, have a hell of a day against the Giants tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, guys, just a reminder, like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to get to every single question. I promise you. Stick around. Don't dip. Just stay here. We're going to get to each one of you. We want to make sure we get to all of you. But like this video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It's your Christmas gift to us. It means the world to us. It's all we ask of you. We help try to grow this rival fantasy community. You guys are the key factor of that. You guys are the major key to all that. Austin G, Jake Ferguson or Isaiah Likely, full PPR. I know it's splitting hairs. I just have zero lean either way. Have a happy holiday, fellas. Happy holidays to you, Austin. Yeah. First and foremost, happy holidays, safe, fun, have a great time. This is splitting hairs in terms of I love both of these tight ends.
Yeah.
They both have been producing all year long. Jake Ferguson, for context, is playing Miami, and Isaiah Likely is playing San Fran, for whatever that matters to you. And he said it's full PPR. Both of these gentlemen get, plenty of targets and work and catches, so that does matter. But man, This is a tough one, Brian. Do we go with the guy who's been really consistent in the high power offense, which is Jake Ferguson? I mean, he's had, a very high end double digit weeks, pretty much. You feel kind of comfortable at this point. Where Isaiah Likely, who's filling in for Mark Andrews and just going crazy the last 2 weeks,
he's gone nuts,
like literally replacing Mark Andrews for real. Which we thought nobody can replace Mark Andrews, but that they'll get work. But Likely is like putting up Mark Andrews type weeks almost. So. Where do you go on that, man?
Okay, so my thoughts are, both games I think have the potential to be pretty high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, these are both very good matchups just from a pure football perspective.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of points, I think, in both games. I think that Likely is the number 2 read on that offense, arguably the number 1 read on that offense right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only thing that makes me lean towards Isaiah Likely, because Ferguson is the 2/3 read for Dak. That's a great position to be in. Again, we're splitting hairs, like we've said. So I'm going to go Likely purely for the fact that I think he's basically the wide receiver 1 for Lamar right now. And the Niners kind of give it up to tight ends because they play back. They don't like to give up big plays, so they kind of leave the middle of the field open, especially when they're playing zone. So I think Likely's the move for me.
Yeah, for me, it's Likely too. It's not much of a thought for me. I know we say we're splitting hairs and that these are 2 really good options, but for me, I look at it this way: Jake Ferguson, the upside isn't there for me in terms of like can he go crazy? He can, but it's just less likely. But it is. Hey,
we'll be here all week, folks. We'll be here all week. Hey, now.
So I would roll fantasy playoffs. I'm trying to get to the championship. Yeah. I'm going with Isaiah Likely. I'm going with the exciting high upside play. I don't think he really, is gonna have a bad game. So I'm not like concerned necessarily about that. So I think that his floor and Ferguson's floor are similar, but I think Isaiah Likely's ceiling is way higher.
Yeah. Likely's a wide receiver in the tight end position.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, he can rip off an 80-yard touchdown run and it looks effortless. So I'm with you.
And
he's the one who can
where Dak doesn't have to go to the tight end, that much, but we know Lamar is going to go to the tight end.
Yeah.
It's just what he does. So I'm going Isaiah Likely. Zaguak boy, K9 or Zeke? K9 or Zeke? That's a good question because they're both kind of similar in terms of, how they've been playing lately, but so we got Zeke, who's playing the Broncos, which
in Denver,
everyone loves to play the Broncos.
We
got Kenneth Walker, who's playing Tennessee, as we've mentioned. The Seahawks are playing the Titans.
Yeah.
So what do you think, man?
This one's tough. This one's a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but I'm still gonna go with Kenneth Walker. He's another one of those, like every time you doubt him, every time he comes off an injury and you don't play him, he makes you pay and he makes you look a fool. And I don't want to look a fool. So I think Zeke can do the same thing, but I think the weather's supposed to be bad in Denver. I think it's supposed to snow or it's already snowed. So don't quote me on that, folks, but I think that's the case. Versus, Tennessee, I don't think the weather's going to be nearly as bad, but so that's something to keep in mind, but I'm still going to go Kenneth Walker, just cream rises to the top.
So. Yeah, man, this is a tough one for me. I mean, he has the ankle injury that he's been kind of like dealing with on and off. And so it's like, do I go with Kenneth Walker in a decent
And
matchup?
he was sidelined with a shoulder this week too. That's what had him sidelined.
Or do I go with Elliot, who has like a pretty good floor, honestly, since Stevenson's been out.
Yeah.
And a great matchup. I think I'm going to go with Elliot, man.
Yeah, Zeke.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Zeke. I just like the matchup. I like the opportunity for Zeke. He's been eating, who knows how many times he's going to get to do this anymore in his career. So
that's true.
I like Elliot. I mean, I like Elliot this time, man. Yeah. Zeke. So we're split on this one. Yeah. Zeke and K9. Zaguak boy.
Also, I think too, if you keep in mind, if it's PPR, I think that's more in favor of Kenneth Walker. Just to put that out there. But
gotcha. Quinn, we already answered that question, so I guess you just posted it twice, maybe. Gray Gamer starting Jalen Hurts. Olave got me 14.30. Waddle, Montgomery, Hall, Hawkins,
a little context for his.
Okay. Yeah, nice lineup there, man. You have a good squad, especially in standard. Yeah. All right. Nice. Rust Maniac, I like that name. Lawrence or Tua? Lawrence or Tua, man. Tua's playing Dallas. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tua, and I'm gonna sleep well. Again, like we said, high. Likely a high scoring game. I should caveat it with every time we say these games are going to be like gigantic scores, they end up being like 21-24. But I think the over in the Miami Dallas game is a pretty safe bet. So yeah, I'll take Tua, especially if Tyreek is back. Give me all of that.
Yeah, it's funny because Tua, like, I don't know, man. Like, do you think he's been underwhelming in terms of like from a fantasy perspective? Like, I get the offense is fun and his playmakers have scored a lot, but I feel like he's had not a lot of great weeks, and then this, I guess, his last back end here is brutal. You know what I mean? Like the Jets, Dallas, Baltimore. Like he has a ton of like these terrible games at the end that make me like nervous about him. But Lawrence, I know Lawrence is coming off like the concussion and all this kind of stuff, but he's playing Tampa. You know what I mean? Like it's a kind of a good matchup for him. But I know it's hard to sit Tua though. You know what I mean? Because of the weapons that he has, it's like you don't ever want to sit him. But I feel like he's been underwhelming to me. I don't know, man. Like I just feel like I don't know.
Yeah, he's been, like back end QB1 most of the season. So he's like, I mean, he's got like the solid 15-point floor that you can kind of bank on every week in 4-point touchdown leagues. So, and again, like you said, Lawrence's matchup is better, but it does always worry me when a quarterback is coming off of a concussion.
Yeah.
I've been wrong about that plenty of times where they come out and they start slinging. So, but yeah, to your point, Tua has been underwhelming, but I think if Tyreek is back, they have to win this game because they want to, try to push for the higher seed. They're both trying to fight for a better playoff spot.
I guess I'm just looking at it like if I'm in the playoffs right now and I have like options, like I'd rather play Brock Purdy over to Matthew Stafford over to I'd get crazy and say almost Baker Mayfield over to Like he's just I don't know, man. Like I'll get crazy with it. I'm not crazy about Tua, but I will start him over Trevor Lawrence just because of the whole concussion thing and. I don't know, man. I don't want to mess with that too much. I know he cleared it, but it's like concussions. But it's weird.
Tough. Yeah, he cleared it Friday, I think, or Thursday, and so he traveled with the team yesterday, I think. Yeah. So I mean, it's like it's a little touch and go for me.
Yeah,
and Tua has the potential to go for 350 and 3 in this game.
Yeah,
So but then there's also a world where Mostert gets 30 touches on the ground because that's what James Cook did to the Cowboys last week. Right. So, I mean, there is a world where Tua doesn't do anything. So yeah, I mean, it is touch and go, but I'm going to stick with Tua. But you're right. It's a tough back end for Tua in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm going to drop a poll in the chat. Has Tua been underwhelming in fantasy this season? I want to know what you guys think. So I'm dropping that in the chat. Guys, please participate. I want to know what the chat is thinking. Your opinions matter to me, so I want to know what you guys are thinking. But I will go with Tua on this as well. Next question is from Sexy Jerry.
Yeah, Sexy Jerry.
Sexy Jerry. Hubbard or Jacobs? Semifinals for me. They saying Jacobs will travel but might not play. What do you think is the play? We've kind of talked about this already, Sexy Jerry, about Hubbard and Jacobs, like not together, but just like individual and other questions. I'm still going to roll with Jacobs on this one just because of what I mentioned earlier. High upside. I think that he's fine. Now, the only thing I will say is, of course, you might want a backup option in case Jacobs for some reason doesn't play. So I would say pick up Zamir White. So if he's available in your league, I would do that. But yeah, I would definitely roll Jacobs for me. He's just, Hubbard just doesn't have the ceiling that Jacobs has, and so there's no chance that I would start Hubbard over him, even with the injury, situation going on.
Yeah, I'm with you. And some backup options that you could potentially pluck off the waivers: Justice Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if you needed Zamir White, like Neil said, Kenneth Gainwell, if you're desperate, because I do think Josh Jacobs is going to play. Again, when their head coach says that he thinks that they're going to play, obviously he's not the doctor, but usually a good sign. So. Go Jacobs, and then just have that emergency plan. That break glass in case of running back that you might need.
Yeah, for sure, definitely do that. But it's Jacobs over Hubbard. All right, Die Hard Sports Network. Who should I start of these 3 out of 4? Jonathan, we already answered that one, right?
We did. I believe we did.
Must have dropped it twice. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh no, let's go this one. WrestleMania. Should I put JT over Barkley? I got McCaffrey as running back 1, Higgins and Evan, and Waddle at flex. Solid team right there, man.
That's a good team. Congratulations on the championship, preemptively. I think I am going to go JT over Barkley. Yeah, Barkley's been the Tua of the running backs. He's been very underwhelming. I mean, he's been hurt, but like Barkley's been such a disappointment, and I don't want to put my fantasy fate in his hands.
Yeah, so. And another guy, Rust, who's like running into like this bad matchups at the end of the season. He had the Saints last week, Philly, Rams. Like it's just a tough, go for him in terms of the matchups as well. So yeah, I think Barkley, you got to sit him over for JT. So yeah, really strong team here, man. I don't think it really matters. I think you're gonna be fine. But yeah, I would definitely start JT over Barkley. I know it sounds weird saying that, man. I understand Rust. Barkley's a great player, but JT is just
he's a better real life player right now than he is a fantasy guy.
Eli Mumford, running back quandary, who to start out of these 6? How many do we get to start? Just one? Eli, how many do we get to start, man? He said JT, Derrick Henry, Rashad White, Raheem Mostert, or Chuba Hubbard.
I only count 5.
And then he put Hubbard or Zeke. He right after that he put Hubbard or Zeke.
Okay.
I'm not sure if these questions are related or not.
We're gonna treat them separate.
Yeah, we're gonna treat them separate. And
so I think it might be easiest if we just rank these guys.
Yeah.
Like top down, how you would start them. I don't know. What do you think? Like these are good. These are good options. A lot of guys that have been performing all season.
Yeah. For me, it's honestly White first, which sounds crazy, but it's White first, then Jonathan Taylor, Raheem more than likely, and then Henry Chuba.
Yeah. I think I'm White, Mostert, JT, Henry Chuba, and that's just purely based on JT's back. He's going to eat today, but you have 2 options who have been consistently fed all year.
Yeah.
So I think, if you get to start 2 of them, it's White and Mostert for me. It sounds like it's probably going to be White and JT for Neil.
Yeah.
But I think you can very easily bench Derrick Henry and Chuba with no issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he says Hubbard or Zeke. So for me, it's Zeke for me on this one. All right. Hopefully we answered those correctly. Eli, if you want to add any context, just drop in the chat. And we'll definitely revisit it. T Flips, Nico Collins or Jordan Addison this week. Ooh, this is a good one.
This is a good
one. This is a good one because you've been like all Nico Collins today. Like no one can sway you off of Nico.
No, man, dude, Nico's healthy. I play Nico Collins. I'm a simple man. I see Nico, I play. It is what it is. It's still Nico for me, just because of Addison's the 3. Addison is the 3 on that team. He's great, and he won people weeks last week. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not chasing the 2 touchdown performance. I'm not doing it. So give me Nico, and I will live and die by that sword.
I am going Jordan Addison. Let's go. Listen.
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm not playing with Nico. He's been like all beat up. He's playing the Browns. I'm not doing it. Jordan Addison is coming off a fire week last week that you mentioned. He's playing Detroit this week. Points are going to be put up, my friend.
Yeah, we thought that with the Broncos-Lions game too, and the Lions shut the Broncos down, dude.
Points are going to be put up, my friend.
I don't know, man. Okay. Here's the question, and maybe we put this up in a poll too once the current poll is done. Do you trust Nick Mullins or do you trust Case Keenum? Because I'm going to trust Case Keenum because he's been there before. Nick Mullins has not done it enough for me to believe in him to support 3 guys in that offense, in that passing offense. I just can't do it.
I am trusting the almighty Nick Mullins.
Come on, dude. No. There's a reason the 49ers went with Sam Darnold as their backup instead of Nick Mullins.
I am going to end this current poll. We are going to drop the Nick Mullins poll in this damn chat right now. Let me end the poll just for the record. I believe, let's see, Tua, was he underwhelming? 63% said yes. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. They know what's up. All right, let's drop this poll in the chat. Let the chat clear this up for you, man. Because
please.
Brian has a case of Houston Texans bias.
I have a case of Keenum, bro.
No, listen. The chat's gonna let the chat be the masters here. Let them show you.
Like I said, I will live and die. I acknowledge plenty of times I have been so wrong and so off base this year. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm infallible, but he did it last week. I like Case Keenum. That team is special. Like they are different now that we've changed regimes. So I'm gonna go with Nico on this one.
The poll is live, folks. Answer that poll. Who do you trust more in fantasy? Nick Mullins.
You know who I picked. I know who you picked.
I know who you picked. You bias. You know what?
Come at me. Come after me, chat. That's fine. I accept my fate. I know what I'm about.
No, the chat's probably gonna come after me, man. They want to see me lose on this one. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We're gonna keep answering your questions while that poll is going. Michael Brantley, got to start 2 running backs, full PPR. Josh Jacobs. Oh wait, did we already answer this one? No. Similar, I guess.
Similar.
So Josh Jacobs, Barkley, and Ty Chandler. This is interesting because we just kind of, knocked Barkley down a little bit.
Yeah.
For who that matchup was and everything and how he's been playing. And then we've been picking up Ty Chandler and how he's been playing. So do you, in the fantasy playoffs, Brian, with it all on the line, are you willing to bench Barkley for Ty Chandler, the hot hand in Minnesota?
Yes, I am. I'm going Ty Chandler over Barkley.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to go Jacobs and Ty Chandler on this one for sure. It's Saquon has burned me so many times in so many different leagues. I can't feel good about him going into Philly and trying to show up and win people their semis.
This is fascinating. This is fascinating, man.
No, look, I love Ty Chandler. I really do. There is no Ty Chandler hate. It's purely a situational thing.
Barkley, I mean, right?
Playing. No, I mean with Ty, because earlier I was saying I wouldn't start Ty Chandler in certain situations. So it's purely just you got to pick and choose and call your shots. And this one, Barkley, I'm kind of out on for the rest of the year. I'm not playing him if I have other options. So give me Josh and give me Ty.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Barkley, man.
Are you really?
I think I am. And I'm a huge Chandler fan. Like I just got done praising the guy. But
aren't you the one who just said Nick Mullins is going to go out and beat the Lions? I mean, that's what I heard you say.
That's what's because it's going to be all done through the air, my man.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. So I'm going to go Barkley. So we're split on this one, but we're both Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, I'm Barkley. He's Josh Jacobs and Ty Chandler. Let me check on this poll really quick because I think the audience here is definitely it's 47-53% right now. I'm seeing the back end here,
neck
man.
And neck, baby. Neck and
Come on,
neck.
guys. We need more votes. Get in there, people. Let's get this what if it's like 50-50?
Then obviously the people cannot help us. And,
I'm not going to end it yet.
Then it is the eternal question that we will never be able to answer.
I'm going to give the chat a couple more moments here to answer that poll. I do not want to end it yet because I'm losing, so I don't want to end it. Action. PPR, Curtis Samuel or Wick from the Packers?
Woo, okay.
Look at him dropping the Wick question.
Yeah, man. I think that's Curtis Samuel for me. Wick is so far. We're so far down in the Packers receiving depth chart.
Thing is, you mentioned how much the Packers don't have playmakers right now. Like everybody's hurt, everyone's beat up, and so Wick did play well last week in the opportunity that he got. They are playing Carolina, which is an underrated defense. I know everyone thinks Panthers just suck, but that is a tough defense.
There's a reason they won last week 9-7.
On the flip side, Samuels is playing a tough defense in the Jets. He also played great last week, though.
Yeah.
So it's really which, third, fourth wide receiver option on the team, who's playing because of injuries or this and that, do you trust against a tough defense?
Yeah.
And so do you go with Samuel, who's done it, I would say, more this year and just more in his career? Or do you go with Wicks, who kind of, is finding himself in opportunities because of injuries and whatnot?
Yeah. I think I go Samuel just because they manufacture touches for Curtis Samuel. Like Ron Rivera is obsessed with this guy for some reason. They are BFFs. Wicks is really good and I like him. And I think he's got a lot of, future opportunity. But for this week, for the upside, I think Samuel's got more certain upside. Now he's boom bust. But if he goes off, he's going to get you 20-something points. So, give me Curtis.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me Curtis as well. I understand, the liking of Wick, and he is fun and everything, but I just think Curtis Samuel, I think they're both similar in terms of these are both high risk, high upside type position you're in here. But Curtis Samuel, he's just done it a little more for me. He's been doing it longer in the Commanders offense. And Wick is also a little beat up. So,
he was iffy all week. And Wick is he's not going to get you as many receptions as Samuel will. Samuel has a higher floor for just purely receptions.
And doing things all over. They hand the ball out of the backfield. They hand to him on the goal line of the backfield. They do.
He's Deebo Samuel light. I mean, they try to turn him into that type of player.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. All right. All right. Let's go where we at. God, so many questions, guys. We're trying to get to them. I apologize.
We're gonna do it. Rapid fire.
Ostmeister Crane. That is an incredible name. Awesome. Addison or Ayuk in my flex? Ayuk.
Yep.
Yes,
Ayuk for me
We're
too.
both on Ayuk on that one. Action also asks Baker or Trevor Lawrence. I'm Baker.
I am Baker as well.
Huge Baker fan here.
Yeah.
Huge Baker. I'm a huge Baker fan. Shout out. Let's throw some air horns for Baker.
Yeah, dude, he got that dog in him. Let's go, Bake.
It's ridiculous. It's undeniable.
He's no Mason Rudolph, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to end this poll because now it's in favor of me.
Oh, boo! You rigged this. You rigged this
Shout
poll.
out to the chat.
Shout out to the chat. There's some shenanigans.
Let's go.
Y'all see that? Y'all see how Neil just rigs the system?
Let's go. Nick Mullins. Woo!
On. What was the final? I'm not seeing any results here. I don't know.
All right. The final is Nick Mullins 55%. Case Keenum 44%.
Okay, close enough. I can accept that. That's fine.
You can accept defeat.
I can live with that loss. That's close enough.
That's close enough. All
right.
I
get blown out.
Constantinosis Guthopoulos Media Studies. That is another incredible name.
Wow.
Zeke or Greek. Aaron Jones in full PPR?
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Actually, man, I don't know.
That it's tough, but Aaron Jones is healthy and they're playing the Panthers. You said they're good defense. I agree with you, but I like Aaron Jones when he's
Give
healthy,
me Zeke.
So. All right.
Give me Zeke. I'm rolling with Zeke, man. He's eating.
Right.
He's eating. Oh, look at this question. Louis Mangua, Nico or Zay Flowers? Get Nico the hell out of here. How many Nico questions are we going to get? We're getting all the Nico questions because he's a bum this week. Bro.
No, he's not a bum this week. Everyone's asking because he's coming off injury. Neil, come on. Read the room. Read the room. This is where I think I might actually go Zay Flowers, though. I think I might go Zay on this one.
Wow. I'm disappointed in you.
If it's so, I mean, I'm splitting hairs on this one. This one, I could go either way, and I think I'll be happy. But but they're playing the Niners. Zay's playing the Niners, so actually, no, I don't like. I can't. I'm kidding. Nico. It's Nico. It's always Nico. Just like it's always Chris Olave. Stop questioning it. Put Nico in your lineups.
Unbelievable. This guy's unbelievable.
Stop it.
Unbelievable. Zay Flowers is the answer, guys.
Come on.
All right. Tig, don't miss. Please help Aaron Jones or Chuba.
AJ.
We talked about Chuba, his safe floor, but you like AJ, right?
I like Jones in this one.
Yeah. I think this one I'll finally take Aaron Jones.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
He does not listen to bad news. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to you as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, this chat is popping right now. Merry Christmas to everybody. Whatever holiday you celebrate. Happy New Year's coming up. All these great things. Stay safe, stay healthy, travel safe, all that good stuff. If you're in the chat, of course, like the video. If you haven't liked it already, we really appreciate that. The likes are popping. We need you guys to hit them some more. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We don't want to see you just today and not see you next week. We want to know you're in the championship. We want to know you're about to win the championship. The only way to do that is to subscribe to show up next week. So please do that. It means the world to us. I know it's very simple. It takes 2 seconds for you, but for us, it means more than you can imagine. So please subscribe to the channel. And of course, this is brought to you by Rival Fantasy. Go to the website, rivalfantasy.com, or download the app. Have a lot of fun. I promise you, you're missing out if you don't at least download the app and check it out. There's a lot of fun stuff going on there. Yep. All right, back to your question. Half PPR, pick 3. Hawkinson, Bijan, Ridley, Brees, Hubbard, Zeke, Godwin. Lots of players there. Lots of talented players here. We have to pick 3.
Okay. I assume this is for flex, but I'm still going to flex Hawkinson. If you got Hawkinson, you play him.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going Zeke and Godwin out of these guys. Ridley, I just have a hard time trusting, even against the Buccaneers defense. Brees, I'm not doing it. I can't do the Jets. Hubbard, he's good. And same with Bijan. Like, I just don't know what they're going to do with these guys in these offenses. And Godwin finally went off with Baker last week. And I think this is a week he does it again. So
you're going Hawkinson,
Zeke and Godwin.
Why not Brees?
Trevor Siemian. I am off the Jets. So I said, in one of the Sizzle or Fizzle articles a few weeks ago, like, hey, maybe think about trading Brees in Dynasty if you can get the value for him. Then he went off. And then last week he sucked, right? So it's just, I just don't trust that offense at this point, regardless of who's under center. You have better options in better situations for this week because you need to know you have a guaranteed floor plus a much higher ceiling. Brees has a very high ceiling, but his floor is below ground level. So I'm just not doing it with Brees this week. I'm not putting my life on the line with him.
Your life
not doing it.
Don't exaggerate.
My fantasy life on the line. I'm not doing it. My championship aspirations are not going to come down to the Trevor Siemian led New York Jets.
Yeah, man. I feel like, man, I actually think I'm going to go Brees. I think
really?
I would go Hawkinson, Brees, and then I'm kind of thinking Zeke or Godwin here, man.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I just said how much I love Baker, but man, Zeke is a really good option too, man. I would go Hawkinson because it's half PPR. I'll go Hawkinson, Brees, Godwin, but I could also be talked into Hawkinson, Brees, Zeke even.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go 2 running backs, and Hawkinson, man, he's playing Detroit. He's playing his former team. Like this is
revenge game narrative, baby. Let's do it
on that one. This is a really good group of guys. Yeah. You know, I'm definitely out on Bijan just because of the situation. I don't trust the Falcons right now. Ridley's not a terrible option. Hubbard's just kind of boring compared to the rest of these guys you have here.
Yeah.
So you have some really good options. For me, it's Hawkinson, Brees, Godwin, or Hawkinson, Brees, Zeke, whichever you feel like going with. Yeah. I would go with Godwin just because of the upside. But all right, Nico Collins or Jordan Addison. Did we just answer this one?
I think we had somebody else ask the same one.
Yeah, dude, Jordan Addison and Nico Collins are popping up everywhere in the questions today.
I mean, look, 2 decent offenses, 2 guys who have been doing it for most of the year. I get it, but you know where I'm going. It's still Nico for me.
I know where you're going, and you're wrong, but it's okay.
Look,
it's still Addison.
Guys, if you come back next week to the live, to the championship live stream, when you come back to the Week 17 live stream, and if Nico does not go off, roast me. I accept my fate. Okay,
listen, guys,
I am taking it on the chin if I lose it. Okay,
let me just kind of correct a little bit what Brian just said. We will have a roast fest next week for Brian. All of you are invited.
Comedy Central roast style. I will sit here. I will turn the mic off. I will take it on the chin, y'all.
Everyone is invited.
Everyone can take their licks on me. It's fine.
Everyone's welcome. That was from Tani, by the way. Lucius Varenis, 44. Start Goddard or Komet. We haven't heard either one of their names today.
Goddard, because Komet is a little banged up.
Interesting.
That's purely it. That's literally the only reason I'm going to go.
I'm with you. Tig don't miss. Start 3, 1 running back, 2 flex. Devonta Smith, Aaron Jones, Hubbard, A-Chain, JSN. Whew. Lots of names there. All right, so 1 running back. So let's just knock a running back out really quick. Either Aaron Jones, Chuba, or A-Chain. You've been picking Aaron Jones a lot today.
I know. I think this is where I'm going to go A-Chain.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go for the upside here.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going for the upside, but it is a risk.
It is a risk. You have to know that he might have 4 touches.
Yeah,
and you hope he rips one off.
Your choice is you're playing it safe. It's Aaron Jones. You're getting crazy. It's A-Chain.
Yeah,
that's the running back. All right, now for flex, Devonta Smith for me.
Yep, Devonta Smith and I think Aaron Jones. I think I'll flex AJ here.
Okay, so you're flexing AJ. I'll flex JSN.
Yeah, I'm between JSN and AJ again, splitting hairs, but I just like the matchup against the Panthers.
Gotcha. Ben Frecker, start Walker or Gibbs? For me, it's probably Gibbs.
It's both if you can.
Yeah, it's Gibbs for me if I have to pick one.
Yeah, Gibbs for me if you only got one spot.
Yeah, Brandon Fleming, 1 running back, Swift or Henry?
Swift.
Interesting. Swift, better matchup. No quarterback in shambles situation. So,
do you think they're gonna start pumping the brakes on Henry because they're out of it and they're gonna give Tajay Spears more run? That's what I'm worried about. Is they're gonna give it basically the audition to Spears for the rest?
It's possible, although I don't know if Vrabel is that kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's this kind of thing. But yeah, I would pick Swift either way. Eli Mumford starting 3 out of 6. Okay, we already answered your question earlier. Jin 23. Do you have a sneaky defense to stream for today? I have Dallas, but questioning it as I feel it could be a shootout, and Dallas defense has been off lately. Was thinking Colts defense versus the Falcons. Don't tell us the Texans, Brian.
No, I mean, I think the Texans actually are not a bad defense, but I like the Colts. I like the Commanders as a streamer today against the Jets. And I actually like the Cardinals against the Bears today. And the reason I say that, I mentioned earlier, Deonta Foreman is out. I think the Bears are going to have and Cole Kmet is banged up. I don't know if it's an illness or an injury, but I know he's on the fence. He may not play.
Yeah.
So I think, and the Buccaneers are a sneaky defense against the Jaguars today too. So I think Commanders, if you can get them against the Jets, though, I know it's like a little chalky, but a lot of people look at the Commanders and they just like don't have anybody. But I think they're solid option against the Jets today.
Yeah. How about
I like
the
Colts,
Seahawks?
Falcons.
The Seahawks are interesting, right? Against Tannehill. I mean,
oh, that's right. Yeah, Seahawks are a great option if you can get the Seahawks.
Yeah, so they could be a little sleeper there too. So
and then I mean, if I'll say it, I think the Giants defense might be okay tomorrow against the Eagles. I'm not putting money on it, but I do think like in a desperate situation, you could roll out the Giants and you won't get negative points.
Yeah.
So
also really quick, because we got a lot of questions, we're gonna have to rapid fire these bad boys.
Rapid fire, baby.
But really quick, would you start the Raiders defense? We talk about how hot they've been, or are you afraid because they're playing Mahomes?
I'm not afraid right now, especially with they're missing Tony, they're missing McKinnon, and they're missing Mecole Hardman. I think the Raiders are a good I just assume the Raiders are already owned as a defense because they've been so good the last few weeks. Yeah. But if you could pick up the Raiders and play them, I definitely would.
Yeah. All right,
I think that's a solid stream.
Some of these questions, guys, because
there's
a ton of you. I don't want to miss you guys. Javonte Williams or Wicks? It's Williams for me, but I know he hasn't.
Yeah, Javonte barely.
He's playing the Patriots, tough defense, but
yeah, I
don't trust.
But he's all they got on the ground. He's all they got. So
Liam Quayle, bench one for my flex full PPR. Ridley, Connor, Jacobs, and start Komet or Waller. I also have Fields if that changes anything.
Okay. Bench Ridley, start Komet if he's active.
Yeah. Waller has a lot of upside, man. I
love
does. Waller,
but he's got paper hamstrings.
Yeah.
So
okay, good. All right. Markin, Souls, flex, half point PPR, Samuel or Edwards. Have Tyreek questionable in my wide receiver spot.
Samuel.
Yeah, I'm Samuel as well. All right. Frank Salinas, Nico or Wicks? I think I actually could go Nico for once.
Finally.
This kills me, but I have to go Nico. Boston Billups, full PPR, Noah Brown or Tyler Lockett this week. Noah Brown,
Lockett.
Better wide receiver in Texas right now.
It's Lockett for me still.
Lockett. Ray Gamer, thanks guys. Hope you all have a good Christmas Eve and a Christmas day tomorrow. Hope you reach the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl if you're in it right now. Much love. Well, we're not going to the Super Bowl because we don't
fantasy Super Bowl, fantasy championship.
We're gonna go to the fantasy championship. I wish I was going to the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. But appreciate the positive wishes for that. But shout out to you, Ray. Appreciate the love, man. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy everything to you guys. Appreciate you. George, sit one, half PPR, Devonta, Chandler, Roshan. I'm sitting Roshan. Juan Pena Jr., would you put Amari Cooper in the wide receiver 2 spot over Rashee Rice, and I'll put Rice in the flex, or should I put Josh Jacobs in flex? I have Ford and Connor as my running back 2, 1, and 2. Okay.
So basically, this is an Amari Cooper, Rashee Rice, or Josh Jacobs question. So pick 2 out of those 3.
Okay. Juan made that as hard as he could for me.
Yeah. I think I'm still going to go Amari and Josh Jacobs. I think Rashee Rice has a lot of opportunity this week, but he'll probably get a lot of coverage. So I think I'm going Jacobs. So here's what you do. You put Amari in your wide receiver 2 spot. You plan to play Jacobs. If Jacobs is inactive, you put Rice in. Done.
I am starting Rice over Cooper.
Are you really? Okay.
I am starting Rice over Cooper. And against my Raiders too. I'm starting Rice.
No, I'm gonna start Amari. Amari's done it all season. I'm not gonna sit him.
Respect for sure.
Yeah.
And then we have to add Ford or Connor.
He's basically saying, he has Ford and Connor is his RB1 and 2. So if that makes a difference, if you put Jacobs in the flex versus Rice, gotcha. would you bench Ford for Jacobs or would you bench Connor for Jacobs? I wouldn't. I would start all 3, but
yeah, I start all 3. All right, Fareed Mayan, start Breece Hall or Barkley. That's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one.
Yeah. I've poo-pooed over both of these today. I'll say I'm gonna
go Breece Hall.
Yeah, it's Breece.
All right, Fave Rocks, Ty Chandler, Zay Flowers, or Spears. Wow, those are some interesting names. I'm gonna go Chandler.
Zay Flowers for me.
Boo. Armando Zapeta Jr., Ty Chandler or Roshan for running back 2. Ty Chandler for me.
Ty Chandler.
Bernardo Muniz, Wilson or Love?
Love, just because of the weather issues.
Yeah.
And I believe the Denver game is I believe there's snow. So I'll check on that, but
I think I'll take Love either way, but while you're checking on that, times 2 highlight. Should I start Zeke over A-Chain? I'm looking for higher upside.
A-Chain.
Okay, so A-Chain is the higher upside play.
Yep.
He's also the higher risk play for you. So if you're looking for upside, it's A-Chain. If you're looking for, just a good floor, a good matchup, all that kind of stuff, then it's Zeke. It's up to you, man. A-Chain is definitely the higher upside. He's also just definitely a higher risk.
If you're in a hole, go A-Chain.
Yeah. Impossible, looking to start 2 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Have Bijan, Pacheco, Chandler, Amon-Ra, Nico, Amari Cooper, Lockett, OBJ, likely.
Okay.
All right, you have a lot of players to go through here.
So, Pacheco, Chandler for me on the running backs.
Over Bijan, even.
Over Bijan.
You like Chandler over Bijan, even with the risk.
I just can't trust Bijan. We got almost minus points from him last week. I can't do it. I feel like I wish I could.
I feel like I would gamble it in that situation.
Over your boy Ty?
Or
are you going to do Chandler and Bijan?
It pains me to say it. I think I'm going to go Bijan Pacheco.
Okay.
And then Amon-Ra is my wide receiver.
Yeah, Amon-Ra, and then I'm probably going to flex Amari Cooper.
Yeah. I want to flex likely so bad, but
yeah, that's tough. You must have a really good tight end if you're considering flexing likely.
He said I need to lock my players in 3 minutes. I don't know if we got to that in time.
Oh, I don't think we got to that in time. I'm so sorry.
Aiden Mayer, start 2 out of Aaron Jones, Nico, and Jordan Addison. I'm Aaron Jones and Addison. You're Aaron Jones and Nico, right?
Yep.
All right, Eli, Nick Mullins or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence. That's a Trevor Lawrence. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's Trevor Lawrence. Flacco, Murray, or Geno? Haven't heard any of those names today.
I like that. I'm going Geno if he's healthy.
Geno if he's healthy?
And I believe he is, so I'm going to go with Geno.
I'm going to go Murray. Noah Bassett. I have Ridley, Godwin, Nico, Collins, and Trey McBride. Who's to put in wide receiver 2 and flex? For me, that's Godwin and McBride.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Godwin and McBride.
Eli Mumford said we answered perfectly. You're welcome. Adam Cahill, shout out to my boy Adam. Neil, I know you have that inside info. Is Josh Jacobs playing tomorrow? Other options are Ruff, Gainwell, Hunt, Dotson, or MVS. It's Jacobs, man. Yeah, Jacobs going to play, Adam. I promise you he's going to
Jacobs, and then if you got to play MVS emergency, that's fine.
Yeah. T Flips, thanks. You're welcome. Mike F, Josh Jacobs over Walker, PPR.
Yes, Josh Jacobs.
For me, it is. But again, always have that secondary option, Mike, because if Jacobs for some crazy reason doesn't play, you want to have the backup option. Yep. Logan Slade, Merry Christmas, fellas. Merry Christmas to you, Logan. Bajan or Rashee Rice? It's Rashee Rice for me. It's not a question because I don't trust Bajan. Cap VN, start 2. Ingram, Pollard, Hall, or Amari Cooper?
Pollard and Cooper.
Yeah, Pollard and Cooper. Rand Stokes. Should I start Nico Collins or Devonta? For me, it's Devonta.
It's Devonta Smith for me.
Matthew Wacker, thoughts on Curtis Samuel? Merry Christmas. We like Curtis Samuel. He is high risk, but we do like him. It really depends on who else you have to choose from. Though.
Good upside, wide receiver, 3 flex option. Yeah. But if you got other options that would have a better floor, go there. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. Curtis Samuel, high upside, of course, has the risk. It depends on what you're looking for and who you have as options.
Yep.
He does not listen to bad news. Said thanks. You're welcome. Dalton Ament said Chuba, Connor, or Jacobs. Jacobs for me.
Yeah, Jacobs. Happy Connor's with Connor in that case too, though.
Yeah. BG, start Texans D or Cowboys D.
Texans. I'll take the Texans. I'm not starting a defense against the Dolphins in Miami.
Yeah. Texans crazy enough are probably safer, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I might still go.
That's kind of a toss up for me. Yeah, but I'll go Texans just because I got to stick to my guns. So.
yeah. Texans are safer though. The hourly juice, Wicks, Javonte, Will, Noah Brown, Flowers, Samuel for flex.
I think I might go Noah Brown here.
Yeah, I think I actually might go Noah Brown.
I think I'm gonna
know Cleveland.
Noah Brown. I think it's Brown, Flowers, Samuel, Javonte, Wicks in that order.
Yeah, I'll roll with you on that one. Brandon Fleming said thanks. You're welcome. Rick said morning, fellas. Morning to you. Half PPR, need 2 running back and 2 flex out of Pollard, Zeke, Singletary, Chuba, Amari, Cooper. Gosh.
Man.
All right. It looks like it's probably what?
Probably Pollard and Zeke.
K9 or Pollard and Zeke?
Oh, K9. I missed K9. Yeah, so Pollard and Kenneth Walker running back. And then
flex. And then
probably Amari and Zeke in the flex.
Zeke. Yeah, we agree on those. Hourly Juice at half PPR. Okay. Cool. Cooped Whitson, Jordan Addison or Jalen Waddle. It's Waddle.
Waddle
For me.
It's Waddle.
Cooped Whitson also Derrick Henry, Gibbs, and A-Chain. Pick 2. I would go Gibbs and A-Chain.
Gibbs and A-Chain. Yes, sir.
Wicks, Javonte Williams. No, Brown, we already answered that one. Yod, who do I start? Raheem or ETN? I would go Raheem.
I'd go Mostert.
M. Anster 23 said Texans, Colt, or Broncos defense.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos defense. Cooped Whitson, Jordan Love, or Kyler. I'd actually go Kyler.
I'm gonna go Jordan Love.
Okay. Chewy, half point PPR, Cooks or Wicks.
Is that Brandon Cooks?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Wicks. I'm gonna go with Wicks
okay.
here.
All
yeah,
right.
baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think Cooks has been terrible the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll go Wicks just because they need him. Dual guitar. Looks like I'm heading into the championship. It had Higgins, Olave, and Puka.
Good for you, man. Way to wrap it up before Sunday. Good on you.
Salute to you. Pick 3, 2 wide receiver. I don't know what Fareed's doing here. I don't see a question. Oh,
I think that may have been earlier.
Yeah. Baker
it's a little later.
Yeah, Baker. Mike F. said got the backup. Perfect, Mike.
Yep.
Doing the right thing, man. Krana Shaw. Pick 2, Wicks with no Reed and Watson. Douglas with no Henry. Or Alec Pierce with no Pittman.
Man. Probably Wicks and Douglas.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Pierce, man.
Pierce is good. I mean, Downs is going to be the one. But yeah, I'll go with Wicks and Pierce.
Yeah. I think I'll go with Wicks and Douglas. Mike, James Conner or Kenneth Walker?
James Conner.
That's
really tough. That's really tough. But James Conner's just been too good.
I just hate James Conner, man. I'll go Kenneth Walker. Rick, props to y'all for actually banging out a lot of questions. Appreciate y'all. Salute to you, Rick.
Happy to
appreciate you guys. Dual guitar, Cole Kmet or Kittle?
I'm going to go with Kittle.
Yeah. Fareed, my end. Pick 2 wide receiver, Donta, Debo, Ayuk. I'll take Donta and Debo.
Yeah, I'm going to take Smith and Debo.
Yeah. Running back, pick 3, A-Chain, Henry, Brees Hall, and Barkley. I'll actually go A-Chain, Hall, and Barkley. I'm going to go crazy.
I agree with you across the board.
Rick, happy PPR need 2 for flex. Wicks, Alex Pierce, Tajay, and Roshan.
Wicks and Tajay for me.
Yeah, same for me. Anthony, Amari Cooper, Sutton, or Gus Edwards in the flex without Mitchell. Amari Cooper.
I'm going to Cortland Sutton.
Oh, actually, Cortland Sutton.
I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton.
He's my not so obvious.
The touchdown machine. It's in his contract. He has to score every week. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's actually in his contract. So,
oh man,
go with Cortland Sutton.
Sutton is the safe floor for you if that's what you're looking for. Cooper has more upside, I think, but it's up to you. He says PPR. Devil, I don't know what it's supposed to be. A-Chain or ETN. ETN's probably the better option.
Yeah, I'll go ETN. The flex.
Huff and Puff PPR bench 2. JT, Raheem, Bijan, Swift, Pacheco. I would bench Bijan and Swift.
I would bench Bijan and Pacheco.
Okay. Amar Issa, Wicks or Chris Godwin. It's Godwin. Anthony also said James Conner or Jamar Gibbs. For me, it's Gibbs. And then the last one here, Jordan Addison or Ty Chandler. Oh, there's more questions coming. But Jordan Addison or Ty Chandler at flex.
Ooh, Addison here.
Addison.
I'm going to go Addison here.
Just because of Madison.
Yeah.
James Conner or Jerome Ford.
Connor.
Yeah, Connor. I love Jerome Ford, though, man.
I love Jerome Ford. Yeah, not against him.
Thank you. You're welcome. Devo, A-Chain, Mostert, ETN is A Flowers need. And who should I start at running back and flex?
Okay, so I'm going to assume you just need an RB2 and a flex. I'll go Mostert and ETN.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you all answer Dynasty questions? Drop it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, drop it. Let's do it.
Tone Warner, Godwin or Cooper? Godwin for me is a safer bet.
That one I'll go Cooper. Cooper.
Okay. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Marius, Hawkinson or Laporta? Damn.
Yes.
Both?
Yes. Put them both in your lineup. I don't care who's in your flex.
Whatever you have to do, figure it out. Both
figure it out. Lineup. Flex them both. Flex them. I don't care.
But if you have to pick one,
no, you got to pick one. It's Laporta.
Yeah,
it's Laporta. But wow, what a congratulations.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. All right, guys. I think we've answered every question so far.
That's it.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, everybody. We really appreciate you guys. As always, before you bounce, please like this video and subscribe. I want to see you next week. I want to chop it up with you before New Year's or whenever we're going to connect again. So please hit subscribe. It means everything to us. Huff and Puff, Bears or Jets? Defense, sorry. Bears or Jets defense?
Bears.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Also, Jonas, Merry Christmas, guys. So I start Jamar Gibbs or Zeke. Elliot has a great matchup. He does have a great matchup. I would still
Gibbs
go
matchup
Gibbs.
proof.
I would still go Gibbs. But if you can get Zeke in your lineup, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Also, don't forget, you can follow us on social at Rival Fantasy. That's on anywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. Go to rivalfantasy.com or download the app. It's called Rival Fantasy. You just have Rival Fantasy Sports in there, I believe, and it'll pop right up. Download it. There's bingo. There's challenges. Even if you're out of your fantasy leagues, you could still play fantasy football in different ways. And challenges and bingo are two of those ways. I'll show it to you really quick, actually.
Or start mock drafting for next year. If you're so far out of it and you want to start mock drafting, get
on here and start playing. You could do all kinds of stuff. Challenges. They look like this. It's just player versus player matchups. You pick the side you want, put the amount, who will score more fantasy points. It's fun. It's simple. NBA is available. If you're an NBA fan, we'll have baseball on there for Major League. You can also do bingo, where you basically pick players for a bingo card. You fill it out. If you hit on the achievements you're trying to get, you win. It's $1 per card, so a very low barrier to entry. Of course, we have season long. We'll have it for other sports as well. I know you missed that boat if you're not on there yet. But go check it out, rivalfantasy.com. In the description, there's a link you can use to get you a promo that you really don't want to miss out on. So go check that out. Hold on,
we got two questions. And then this is it.
Last two questions. Do I start Godwin or Ridley? I'm starting Evans.
Ridley.
So he's starting Evans.
Yep. Diversify. Get that Ridley.
Yeah, diversify, go Ridley. But yeah. And then dual guitar, I'm heading to the championship. I have 3 first-round picks, the 1.1, 1.2, 1.9. Do I trade the first for players or draft players? Because I for sure want to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
If you're going to the championship and you got the 101, I'd keep it.
Yeah, I would hold it for sure.
And also remember, dual guitar, your picks are the most valuable during the draft.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can make a trade now. Sure. If you can make a trade that wins you a championship next week, great. But trade the 1.9. Like, wait and as close as you can to your rookie draft, because that's when your picks are the most valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, you can trade the 1.9. I mean, you have the 2 best picks in the draft. You can get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison or whatever. Like, you're going to be loaded regardless.
Or if somebody comes to you and wants to give you, I mean, if they would give you a haul for the 1.1 and you just can't say no, then that's fine. But take Marvin Harrison at the 1.1, trade the 1.2, and sleep well.
But you're winning the championship potentially this year, and you have those picks. You're in perfect position right now in Dynasty. So congratulations for putting the team together and making moves to get to that point. You've done amazing. So congrats to you. All right, man. That is all we have for today.
Did it, guys.
We appreciate you guys. Let me give you one more air horn. A little bit of applause. You guys were lit. The chat was lit. This is one of our best episodes of the year.
Yeah, this was great, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Merry Christmas. Thank you for spending your Christmas Eve morning with us. Means the world to us.
Yeah. So again, subscribe. We want to see you guys around. Check out the videos. We love you guys commenting and doing the polls and all that fun stuff. So shout out to you guys. You guys are the heroes of the year. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. Brian, I have nothing else for them. Do you have anything else?
Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you in the championship. Get there, and we will do this again next week.
Yeah, that is it for us, guys. RivalFantasy.com. Download the app. Subscribe to this channel. We are out.